Hello everyone, and welcome to a new installment of Am I the Asshole? If you love hearing Reddit tales, it would greatly support the channel if you could give it a like or subscribe. Now, let's dive into our first story. Am I the asshole for kicking my sister out of my house over a garden? My sister has lived with me since she was a teen mom. She has her own little space for her and her kids. It's my house. I own it. My fiancée Amy moved in, and as my wife Amy can remodel the home as she likes, Amy and I have been together for 4 years. My sister has lived with me for 6. My sister and Amy got in this huge argument over ripping out my grass where her kids play and making a garden that will bloom next spring. Amy had discussed this with me, and it was agreed on. Because of our different schedules, we forgot about my sister and telling her about the garden. Amy took a few days off from work to meet with the contractors for the initial digging up the yard. This happened while I was at work. My sister made a scene with the contractors and yelled at Amy. Amy told my sister that it's time for her to move out and get on with her own life. I have been supporting her and her kids for too long. A neighbor got involved and called the police, saying Amy wasn't authorized to have the contractors dig up the yard. Amy was asked to leave the property by the police with an overnight bag. This was supervised by the police because I was not reachable at work. My sister told me, "Can you believe this bitch ripping up the yard like that?" I have to leave work and take my hour commute home to deal with my sister. I told her it's time for her to move out, and she should have never been involved with the garden. It wasn't her place. It's not her effing home. My sister was complaining that her boys love to play in that patch of grass, and she can't believe I would make changes to her play area without consulting her. Amy is effing pissed at my sister and the neighbor. The neighbor tried to apologize, but I had to tell the neighbor there is no more coming over because she will be trespassed, and she had no business calling the police and making the situation worse. The neighbor explained she didn't know Amy was authorized to make those changes, and I told the neighbor too effing bad. She's banned from the property, even though she's friends with my sister and their kids play together. I told my sister that her and the boys have to go, and she needs to be out by the new year, or we'll take legal action on her. My sister keeps crying and apologizing, but her actions showed Amy what her married life would be like. With my sister lived with us, and I'm putting my wife first, and my sister has to go. Edit. Amy and I talked to a lawyer, and we are getting the legal paperwork together for my sister's eviction. The lawyer also suggested cameras for the yard, and those will be installed next week. I'm sending my sister legal notice of the cameras being installed to cover my ass per the lawyer's request. I do not blame the police for their reaction, and neither does Amy. Our destination wedding is upcoming in a few weeks. My sister was not going because of her relationship with our parents, but the cameras will be installed by then. With the legal notice, my sister is not to tamper with the cameras or make any cosmetic changes to the property while we are out of town. Edit. My sister has never paid rent or utilities or any other upkeep of the home. We have maid that comes every other week to do basic cleaning because the house gets dirty with the kids. My sister does have a job, and both Amy and I do watch the boys several nights a week. Not the asshole. You took your sister in because she was a teen mom and supported her financially, as I understand it, for at least 6 years. You talk about kids, plural, among other things. Did she get pregnant after moving in with you? I also have to wonder, what about the father, your parents? Regardless of the answers, your sister has behaved very badly. She's a guest in your house, she's being supported, and she even has the nerve to meddle in your future wife's renovations, the one you've been with for 4 years now? Entitled doesn't go far enough in this case, not to mention the neighbor, nosy, and inappropriate. You did well across the board. I only feel sorry for the children who will suffer the most from the tantrums of these two. The neighbor tried to apologize, but I had to tell the neighbor there is no more coming over. She's banned from the property, even though she's friends with my sister and their kids play together. Real talk. What do you want to bet that the neighbor took the sister's side because her kids also play in OP's yard with the sister's kids, so she had a vested interest in stopping the contractors? This seems more self-motivated than just nosy, otherwise banning her from the property wouldn't be a punishment. Edited to add, edited misspelling, also adding judgment, not the asshole. The neighbor didn't know, the woman who lived there for 4 years, as the wife of the guy that owned the house, at least 6 years, was authorized to dig a garden and got the police to eject the wife from the home. I'd put the tallest possible fence up and threatened to trespass them every time they looked at it. AITA, the neighbor overstepped. You've had too much grace for your sister. Start the eviction notice now officially, or shell squat. Send your sister a notice to quit with her expected move-out date listed. Looking up legally evicting someone, because if you want her out by New Year, starting the process now is essential. Basically, if she doesn't move out by New Year, the notice to quit will have already been served, saving you months of living with her while you evict her. Not the asshole. She has been given plenty of time to vacate. She's not a teen anymore. Not the asshole. So if I'm reading this correctly, she moved in with you as a teen mom and has had more children since living with you. She isn't financially independent, but has continued to make babies. It is definitely time for her to step out on her own and support the family she has created. You also gave her plenty of notice. That was very kind. On the bright side, it sounds like she has friends. Maybe she can move in with one of them. Make sure you get everything in writing. If she is willing to make a scene in the neighborhood and talk to the cops to have your fiancé thrown out, no telling what she will do down the line. Good on you for sticking up for your future wife. Well, that's another episode of Am I the Asshole in the books. I really appreciate all of you who made it this far into the video. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, it would really help the channel out a lot if you gave the video a thumbs up, subscribe, or leave a comment down below. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.